Hey guys, it's me Irina from Snowworks Crochet, and in today's video I will be again reviewing the Hooks and Needles subscription box. Now for full transparency, this video is not sponsored. All of these thoughts and opinions are my own genuine opinions. I also paid my own money for these boxes. I can show you my credit card statement if you truly want me to validate that, but I would rather not for privacy reasons. So this is actually my second review video for the Hooks and Needles subscription box. I have the first video that you can find on my YouTube channel. Go check it out if you have not. And my plan for these videos is that I am going to subscribe to the service for 3 months, and I'm going to do a review for every single box that I receive. And then after those 3 months, I'm going to cancel my subscription and tell you overall my thoughts on the service. The reason why I do it this way is because you know how subscription boxes are. Sometimes you get one that's absolutely amazing, and then sometimes you get one that is not great. Getting 3 boxes worth of product will allow me to more fairly review the service overall. Now, that being said, I have my second box right here, and I will be doing a live unboxing. Ta-da! So, inside, we have another little booklet. The first one came with this. We have this squishy yarn, 2 skeins of this beautiful purple, and then 1 skein of this lighter purple, also beautiful. So it's really pretty. I'm excited. It is unshrinkable extra fine merino wool. That's pretty cool. So this came with some keychains. Interesting. Are these keychains? Oh, these are stitch markers. Let me open that up. That's Yo, these are some neat. Look at that. Look at that. Those are some neat stitch markers. Very pretty. I like them. I like them a lot. That's pretty cool. I actually don't have these type of fancy stitch markers, so I only have the plastic ones. So I'm not in need of stitch markers, but I definitely will not turn down stitch markers. Take a look at that. The little purse tassel. And then there is a leather strap. Looks like I have a bag pattern in here. So let us review. We have this Merino Essence yarn, unshrinkable merino, extra fine merino wool. A stitch marker set, a tassel, a crossbody strap, and obviously the monthly pattern. So it looks like there are 3 patterns in this pamphlet. There appears to be a hanging organizer, a puff stitch pot holder, and a colorful purse. This is the hanging organizer. This is the puff stitch pot holder. And then we have this purse. Obviously, my box did not come with a hook this time, and it actually says in this pamphlet specifically that US size 8 5mm crochet hook from your previous boxes. So it insists that you use the hook that was previously provided to you from the previous box. Makes sense. I am not personally the biggest fan of these patterns. I don't know, I don't find myself needing a hanging organizer. I'm trying to think. Like the last box, it also has a disclaimer about how there is not enough yarn to complete all 3 projects. You can pick which ones you want to do. I am personally not interested in all 3 projects, so that's perfectly fine. But this time, of the patterns I want to try making the colorful purse. I will say personally, I am not as interested in these patterns. Well, to be fair, I wasn't really that interested in the previous patterns either. I think for these reviews, I want to make 2 patterns per month. So I think this time I will do the colorful purse, which is the advanced pattern. And then I will maybe do the hanging organizer, because I know for a fact I do not want a wool pot holder. So I will get to that. So I can tell you already, this yarn is very, very splitty, and it's making doing something like a puff stitch very, very annoying. Hey guys, just wanted to show you the first granny square that I made using the pattern in this pamphlet. One thing that was really annoying me and had me stuck for a while was that this pamphlet shows that you are supposed to do 3 double crochet, chain, and then 3 double crochet in one space. And it says, you know, do 3 double crochets in the next space. But what it does not tell you is that you are supposed to skip another chain space and then do the 3 double crochets, then skip another chain space and then do whatever. Because the photos showed it, but the written pattern did not show that. And that had tripped me up for a little bit and making this thing very frustrating. Also, I did end up looking online about how wool is as a pot holder, and apparently it insulates heat well. I personally was not expecting that because, I don't know, for me, I just thought cotton was always the default choice for pot holders. But supposedly wool is a fine pot holder. It's, I don't know, maybe I just thought that wool would like catch fire or something. Kind of like how acrylic will melt, you know? So I guess that was proven wrong. It's not as nonsensical. I'm still not gonna make it.
For GTA 6? Yes. What's your favorite food? Pizza. Favorite drink? Coke, vanilla, cherry. Is it hard for you to have Kelsey crochet a lot, especially for work? No. You ever want to learn how to crochet? No. How old are you? 36. How old are you? 36. Cows? Yeah. Why don't you like to wear crochet stuff?
Just to let you know, I genuinely hate making these granny squares. The yarn is super splitty and I don't like the puff stitches. I'm switching hooks because the hook that the Hooks and Needles box came with is not it. It's, especially with this yarn, it's getting caught on like the glue here, which, can you see that? Yeah, right there. It's getting caught on the glue here, and it's making it very difficult to work with and just annoying, and I don't know. I'm going to switch to my Clover Soft Touch hook. That's also a 5mm. So I think hopefully that will make it a little bit easier to work with as I complete these squares. Tell me why, as soon as I switch hooks, the splitty yarn became less of a problem. I mean, I know actually why, but you know, I'm being hyperbolic here. So I completed the purse. I hate it. I kind of hate everything about this purse. I didn't bother weaving in my ends because I don't want to right now. I don't want to think about it. Maybe I'll do it later, but at the moment, I hate it. I'm sure this would appeal to somebody, but not me. For the sake of it functioning as it should, it does. It holds things. I think it could be better if it were lined, but I don't know how to do that, so I'll figure that out later. Basically in the pattern, it has you slip stitch together all the granny squares you made. So I did that and I hated doing it. And then it has you do this single crochet border and like this loop here to attach the purse strap. The purse strap it came with is very nice. I like it. But the actual purse itself, not so much. I think this would look really good if it were lined with like a black fabric and then you got like one of those metal clasps. It could look nice. But right now, it sucks. and I'm tired of working on it. I don't want to deal with it. So I'm just going to ignore it for now. I know I said I was not going to make the pot holder, but I think I'm going to make the pot holder next. I was looking at the wall door hanging thing, and I am not in the mood to crochet a bunch of pieces and put them together. So I think I'm just going to make a pot holder and not have to sew things together. Okay, so I am technically on the last row of this puff stitch pot holder, and either that is a very small teapot or I do not have enough rows for this, because this, I mean, yeah, will it functionally work as a pot holder? Sure. But I expected this to be a lot bigger, and I could add an extra couple of rows of stitches, but I really don't want to, mainly because I hate doing these puff stitches. I'm complaining a lot, but I really hate this. Okay, I ended up finishing my pot holder. I'm not weaving in this end. It's just not happening. But essentially, I finished the pot holder. It is a lot smaller than I expected. It's either smaller than I expected or my tension's too tight. I could have added more rows, but I just did not want to. I followed the pattern to a T. So, I mean, this pot holder exists now, and I mean, for what it is, I'm sure it's fine and functional. I just never gonna use it. Now to share my overall thoughts on this month's box. First, I will, admit that I am being way more unfair than I should have been throughout the entire video. I have been uber negative on it, but I feel like it's kind of to an unnecessary amount. I think what happened is that I just absolutely hate puff stitches, and all the patterns I worked on in this month's box are puff stitches. Like, there was that puff stitch purse and then a puff stitch pot holder. I could have done the wall hanging, which wasn't a puff stitch pattern, but I think at the time I was not in the mental headspace to sew anything, so I chose to do the pot holder. And I will say it doesn't help that I did the advanced pattern first, which is literally 7 puff stitch granny squares. And I think because I was burnt out from that project and then I did a puff stitch pot holder, I was definitely kind of negative. Now this leads me to my second point. This month's yarn, I hated it. Absolutely terrible, trash. It was incredibly splitty. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't care how high quality your yarn is. If it's splitty, it's trash. This is like, non-shrinkable merino wool. Okay, cool. You know what doesn't split? My Big Twist acrylic. So, and it's like a quarter of the price. So maybe this is just me not really getting a hype behind wool, but whatever. Now, because the yarn is like super splitty, that brings me to my third point, is that it made me realize how much I hate the hook. I think I wrote down some notes that I'm reading off here, and it says, hook, trash, hate it, throw it out. And those feelings still ring true. Now, to end this on a better note, I do think the stitch markers they came with are super cute. I love them. But I will say my criticism is that this is no fault to hooks and needles. If anything, this is just more of my own personal preference. But the stitch markers themselves are more like a clasp stitch markers. And I personally found them difficult to use as stitch markers. If anything, it made me realize that I just prefer the plastic ones. I don't know, for me, it's kind of a shame because, cute stitch markers are the clasp ones, but for the sake of function, the plastic ones are better. And that makes me sad, because I want to like the cute custom-made stitch markers, but it is what it is. And also, in this month's box, the purse strap that it came with is probably the best part of the box. I really liked the purse strap it came with. I wasn't a big fan of the purse pattern, but I did like the purse strap. If I just end up never using that purse again, I might repurpose a strap for a personal project, not hooks and needles related. And gotta end it on a good note. Now, with that, that concludes my thoughts for this month's box. I'm starting to compile my thoughts overall on the service right now. So I'm actually thinking of skipping next month's box and doing my next review in January. And I think after that, then I'll have a more holistic review of the service. And I think me skipping the month will actually give me an idea of like, oh, what's it like when you skip something? What's it like when you cancel? You know, all that. With that, I'm going to conclude this video here, and let me ask you guys, have you ever tried a subscription box for crochet? What's it like? Have you tried the hooks and needles ones? Have you tried any other one? And if you have tried other ones, what are they? I want to try them out. Feel free to like this video so it can be boosted in the algorithm, and feel free to subscribe if you like videos like this or any of my other content that aren't reviews. With that, I will see you next time. Bye!